Good morning, staff, students, and family members. I am BM1 Jingles, class advisor for BMA RAP 2503, and I will be your master of ceremonies today. I ask that you please silence your mobile phones and other electronic devices. On behalf of Captain Ray and Training Center Yorktown, we would like to thank all BMA school instructors. Without your commitment to these students, they would not be here today. We would also like to recognize the loved ones and guests in attendance for taking time to attend this important occasion. During the ceremony, please feel free to stand up and move about for photography. There are many rewarding and significant moments in every Coast Guard career. Today, we will witness one of the most distinctive, advancement to Petty Officer. Third class Petty Officer is the first pay grade. An enlisted member can wear collar devices. Petty Officers are also expected to take on a greater role as leaders within the Coast Guard. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the official party. BM1 Mikael Ubieta, BMA RAP 2503 Advisor. Chief Boatswain's Mate Michael Canning, Assistant School Chief of Boatswain's Mate A School. Master Chief David Dolphin, Command Master Chief, Training Center Yorktown. Lieutenant Commander Nicholas Pavlik, Assistant Branch Chief, Boat Forces, Cutter Operations. Commander Victor Galgano, Chief, Training Division. Captain Scott Ray, Commanding Officer, Training Center, Yorktown. Guide on. Post. The guide-on bearer for RAP 2503 is Seaman Martinez. BM RAP 2503, post. BM RAP 2503, seats. Will the guests please be seated? The Boatswain's Mate is the only enlisted rating that inspires to command. These graduates may someday be in command of their own cutter, station, or aids to navigation team. Along the way, they will do many things, including navigating cutters and small boats, protecting our marine environment, enforcing federal laws and treaties, conducting search and rescue operations, maintaining ports, waterways, and aids to navigation, defense operations, mentoring junior personnel, and managing a multitude of challenging and dynamic responsibilities. Boatswain's Mate RAP stands for Rating Apprentice Program and was created in 2021. These students are able to attend the expedited Boatswain's Mate A School RAP class because they are already qualified as boat crew members. It's the first ever Agile A School. This program leveraged non-rated personnel with boat crew qualifications, reducing time in training from 14 weeks to 6. This has increased the number of graduates by 36% and reduced the shortage a year ahead of schedule. I would now like to welcome Chief Canning to say a few words.
Good morning, BM RAP 2503. Let's try that again. Good morning. Oh, come on. I thought this was a BM graduation. All right, one more time. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Once again, thank you, Captain Ray, friends, and family for joining us today on this special occasion. I would also like to thank BMA schoolhouse staff and many other instructors that have assisted in making this day possible for these students. These members have gone far and beyond to mentor, guide, and instruct the students. Today will mark the end of the journey at Training Center Yorktown and the beginning of your journey as boatswain mates and third-class petty officers in the United States Coast Guard. The staff and I are proud to send the Coast Guard newest boatswain mates into the fleet. As you prepare yourself for the next step into your journey, I task you take the time to enjoy the places that the Coast Guard sends you. Not every unit seems like the best, but if you look at the glass half empty, you'll never see the beauty that these places truly have to offer. And finally, when you get to your destinations, my advice to you is 3 things you can control every day, are your attitude, your effort, and your actions. It doesn't matter what others are doing or who you think is being unfair. Every day you can focus on being positive, working hard, and making others around you better. I don't expect you all to stay BM3s for long. Take advantage of the supplemental advancement list while still being offered. Get qualified and work on mastering your craft and sharpening your leadership skills. Best of luck to each and every one of you on your future endeavors. BM RAP 2503, attention. Ready, face. Lead out. Inboard face, cover. At this time, we would like to invite anyone who will be participating in the pinning of the collar devices to please join us by standing by their graduate. Captain Ray, would you please join me at the podium to read the advancement certificate?
Thank you, Chief. So good morning, everyone. Your cue to begin the pinning this morning will be when you hear me say, I do appoint. At that point, you can start, but don't start yet. Thank you. It's not official yet. All right, folks, I see everyone's in place. When you hear me say, I do appoint, that'll be your cue to begin. Uniformed personnel, attention to advancement. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of these Coast Guardsmen, I do appoint them boatswain mates in the United States Coast Guard to rank as such from the 13th day of February, 2025. These appointees will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the grade to which appointed, by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto pertaining. And I do strictly charge and require all personnel of lesser grade to render obedience to appropriate orders. And these appointees are to observe and follow such orders and directions as they be given from time to time by superiors acting according to the rules and articles governing the discipline of the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Given under my hand at Yorktown, Virginia, this 13th day of February, 2025. Signed, Scott A. Ray, Captain, Commanding Officer, U.S. Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown, Virginia. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Captain Ray. Will all guests please be seated? BM Rap 2503, ready, face, forward, march. Seats. We would now like to present some special recognition awards. Lieutenant Commander Pavlik and Chief Canning, would you please come forward to assist me in recognizing these individuals? Petty Officer Aganis, front and center. This first award is the Academic Excellence Award. This student had the highest overall academic average of 99.33%. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Pavlik. Captain Ray, will you please join us for the presentation of the next award? Petty Officer Rodriguez, front and center. This last award is the Leadership Excellence Award. This student demonstrated superior qualities, leading by example, and helping to guide and influence others. Thank you, Captain Ray, Chief Ganning. Now, Petty Officer Rodriguez will address the class.
All right, let's see. All right, just want to say thank you, Captain, for being here. Our class advisors, guests, staff, family, and as well as the rap class as well. Thank you guys for being here. Before I begin, I just want to say what a pleasure it has been being able to work alongside every single one of my classmates here today. It has been a privilege to watch each and every single one of my shipmates make the transition from non-rate to petty officer. I look forward to seeing each and every single one of you in fair seas and following winds out in the fleet. Honor, respect, and devotion to duty. These are the core values we swore to uphold. Each of these values are unique to every single one of us. Not one of us here today will come up with the same way to describe them, yet we strive to hold them in every single moment of our days. Our position is a leadership position where we are now in the spotlight for everyone to see and to look up to. We have the opportunity to show everyone what honor, respect, and devotion to duty means to us and help the newer and even the senior members learn new ways to uphold them. And now I would like to share a quote that I am very sure that we have all heard more than once during our time in service. The Coast Guard has long been known as the armed service that gets more done for less, by Howard Cobb. There will never be a time in our careers where we will have an overabundance of supplies, people, or money. This is not because there is not enough funding, not because there's not enough people wanting to join, or not being paid enough. It's because we as Coasties are known to be resourceful with our ever-changing mission and devotion to the completion of the mission. That no matter how much we are given, we will always do everything in our power to see it through. When asking the impossible, a Coastie will never say it can't be done. They will complain and they'll moan, but we will do everything in our power to try to see it through. When the waves are crashing all around and people in our water, our shipmates will look to us in times of need for guidance. What better way of knowing they can look at you in times of unease when they know who you are? And that is a bosun's mate.
Thank you, Petty Officer Rodriguez. The time has come to recognize one last accomplishment for RAP 2503. We will now present the graduation certificates. BM RAP 2503, attention. Ready, face. Front row, lead out. Captain Ray, Chief Canning, may I have your assistance with the presentation of the graduation certificates? The names will be read in alphabetical order. I will announce now each graduate and their new assignment. Petty Officer Aganis, returning to Coast Guard Cutter Mobile Bay, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Petty Officer Amoroso, Station Fairport, Fairport, Ohio. Petty Officer Britt, returning to Coast Guard Cutter Joshua Appleby, St. Petersburg, Florida. Petty Officer Brown, returning to Station Portsmouth, Portsmouth, Virginia. Petty Officer Cantoni, returning to Aids to Navigation Team, South Portland, Maine. Petty Officer Castello, Station New York, Staten Island, New York. Petty Officer Cottle, returning to Station Umpqua River, Winchester Bay, Oregon. Petty Officer Clark, returning to Station Port Aransas, St. Aransas, Texas. Petty Officer Cologne Alicia, Station Menimsha, Chilmark, Massachusetts. Petty Officer Cummings, returning to Station San Diego, California. Petty Officer Espinoza, Aids Navigation Team, Bristol, Rhode Island. Petty Officer Fetters, returning to Coast Guard Cutter Nia Bay, Cleveland, Ohio. Petty Officer Frizz, Coast Guard Cutter William Flores, Miami Beach. Petty Officer Garcia, returning to Maria Bay, Atlantic Beach, Florida. Petty Officer Gonzalez, Station Kings Point, New York. Petty Officer Hernandez, returning to Coast Guard Cutter Thetis, Key West, Florida. Petty Officer Ibarra, Aids to Navigation Team, South Padre Island, South Padre, Texas. Petty Officer Kerbabov, Aids to Navigation Team, New Orleans, Louisiana. Petty Officer Lawrence, Station San Francisco, California. Petty Officer Lucy, returning to Station Fort Pierce, Florida. Petty Officer Martinez, Station Chicago, Illinois. Petty Officer McDonough, returning to Station Honolulu, Hawaii. Petty Officer McGowan, Station Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Petty Officer Michelini, returning to Station Booth Bay Harbor, Maine, sorry. Petty Officer Molina, returning to Station Portage, Dollar Bay, Michigan. Petty Officer Over, returning to Station Port Arnses, Texas. Petty Officer Palmer, returning to Station Hatteras Inlet, Hatteras, North Carolina. Petty Officer Peffley, Station Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Petty Officer Rayberg, 8th Navigation Team, Panama City, Florida. Petty Officer Richard, Station San Francisco, California. Petty Officer Rodriguez, Coast Guard Cutter, William Sparling, Boston, Massachusetts. Petty Officer Smith, Station Woods Hole, Massachusetts. Petty Officer Tran, Station Grace Harbor, Westport, Washington. Petty Officer Whitmore, 8th Navigation Team, Sitka, Alaska. Petty Officer Wood, returning to Station Provincetown, Massachusetts. Petty Officer Wrightstone, returning to Coast Guard Cutter, Catherine Walker, Bayonne, New Jersey. Would you please join me in a round of applause for the graduates of Boatswain's Mate A, RAP 2503, and the newest Boatswain's Mates in the United States Coast Guard. There is one more event to celebrate before the conclusion of this ceremony. It has been a long tradition of graduating BMA school classes to spike their guidon at the captain's house and disband from there. Please join us as this class forms up for the final time to march to that location. I would like to thank everyone for attending. Congratulations to all, and welcome to the fleet. Retrieve the guidon. BM Rap 2503, attention. Ready, face. Lead out.